When you've been around controlling people long enough, you start to question your whole reality. They don't have to yell or get in your face. They just drop little phrases that twist your mind, like, I only said that because I care, or I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? Or, wow, you've really changed. Or, I guess I can't say anything around you anymore. Or, I never said that. You must have misunderstood. Now, each one sounds harmless and like something that could be legitimate in certain contexts. But the effect is the same. When someone's controlling you, they say these little things and your mind freezes. And you start defending yourself instead of seeing what just happened. Now, if you grew up around criticism, silence, or chaos, your nervous system learned to scan for danger in people's moods. So when someone twists words or shrugs off your feelings, you doubt yourself. Instead of doubting them, you just always think, what did I just do? There's an element of confusion that's introduced into your thinking out of nowhere. They don't need to control you with force. They just need you to be uncertain like that. And every time you try to explain what happened, they act calm, which makes you look like the unstable one, right? And that's how smart, capable people end up walking on eggshells in their own homes and families and jobs. So I had this female friend for several years who I thought of as one of my my best friend, really. And she was super duper nice. She had a sweet voice. She always was like meek and harmless, and she always needed things, though. She was always sort of playing the role of the humble, compassionate person who needs stuff. And when I look back, it was like I was under a spell. I was always doing things for her, giving her money, helping her move, helping her when she was sick, letting her persuade me to have events at my house because she wanted me to, which I did, and then taking her calls, lots and lots of calls for support. And there was this one week where, to this day, I have no idea what happened, but she started acting weird. We had a series of conversations over a few weeks, and each one left me both confused, really confused. I couldn't understand why she was having all this drama with me. She couldn't explain. And it also left me in tears. Like 3 times in a few weeks, I was crying because of a friend. And I couldn't understand, what is wrong? What's going on? Why the anger? And back then, I didn't have my friendship gut check system to just go, well, it makes me cry every time we talk, and I have no idea what this is about, and she won't tell me. This is not a friend. So back then, I just kept trying with her to talk and find out what's going on. What did I do? And I asked her, is it just me, or are you trying to end this friendship? Because it feels like it. And she acted like I was crazy, and she got angry, and she refused to talk about it. And it all made no sense. And then she came up with her answer, very frowny. It's just that I'm very concerned about you. And I was like, concerned about what? And she said she couldn't explain. Don't ask her anymore. And then a day later, she texted me that she needed a break from me. So I thought for a long time, I just must have done something so wrong, and I must be so bad that I don't even know what I did wrong, which is something that was just like a thing I used to do. I used to hang out with people who were not fair or honest or straightforward, and end up with this whole self-damnation thing going on all the time. It was very sad. Some of you will have been on my calls in the early days of Crappy Childhood Fairy when I said, I always have fear no one likes me. And it was because of this person. I was very haunted by this for a while. It took me a while before I got answers. So yeah, it really did a number on me for a while. But someone being simultaneously silent and cruel and saying they are concerned, can I just tell you, it's not concern, it's control. They're controlling the narrative for themselves. And I cared for her all the time in the early years. And I just realized I was also being controlled. It was a manipulation. It was all one way. And I mean, granted, I let it happen. I was under the spell. But this silence plus anger equals saying, I'm hurting you because I'm concerned? No. Like it was for my own good? No. This is a sign that someone is up to something, and it's not concern. So years of friendship ended in cold silence. It took a while to see. This had nothing to do with me. And information I learned later made this clear. It really did have nothing to do with me. But this person's way of manipulating was to be nice, to be thought of as compassionate and caring and concerned. And she believed she was nice. Whatever she needed to communicate with me, I don't think she could reconcile the unkindness of it with her self-perception, of being such a nice person. So if people hurt you, but confuse you because what they say doesn't match reality, this happens all the time in romantic relationships. People are like, I'm confused. And from the outside, it's not confusing. You can always see from the outside, or let's say you can easily see from the outside, if not always, that the person is messing with them. So if they confuse you, but what they say doesn't match reality, it's control. And it's just time to get out of there. Control often hides behind reasonableness. It sounds calm, measured, helpful. And when someone says, I think you're reading too much into that, or they say, I just want you to be realistic. You know what's coming, right? And you're being emotional. What they're really doing is shifting the spotlight off their behavior and onto your reaction. These phrases work because they hit old wounds. The times you were told your feelings were too much, your needs are too picky, your truth is just too dramatic. It's not logic, it's dominance disguised as balance. And when you swallow that, you start doubting your own perception, which you gladly do just to keep people from leaving your life. That's an old wound of fear of abandonment. This is a sign of a connection wound, by the way. And if you think early trauma in your life hurt your ability to form healthy connections, I want to give you this list of signs that can indicate that that is what's happening. It's called the Connection Quiz. It's a free download, and I'll put it in the top line of the description section below this so you can get your own copy of it. So what can you do to heal this tendency to doubt yourself when someone is being controlling? So step 1, notice when you start explaining yourself. If you hear yourself giving long speeches to prove you're not crazy, stop mid-sentence. Control feeds on your need to be understood. When you just don't do it, when you get silent, it breaks the spell. Step 2, write down what was actually said. Put the words on paper exactly. Then later you can see the pattern, the half apology, the fake wise sayings like, well, it is what it is, or everything happens for a reason, or you just need to live in the moment, or maybe this is the universe testing you. They sound spiritual or philosophical, but they shut you up instead of opening a conversation about what seems off to you. Step 3 is watch actions, not explanations. When someone keeps hurting you and then explains it away, believe the behavior, not the speech. If they forget promises or mock your boundaries or punish you for having feelings, that is the information you need. Words are the mask, behavior is the truth. And getting entangled with mean or troubled people is totally a trauma symptom. It's something that happens to all of us before we've healed that tendency. And something I want to make sure that you have is my list of signs of healing. It's a free download that lists a series of signs that I love to share because you're going to recognize that you're already getting stronger. And it gives you a vision of ways that you're ready to heal next. And I'll put that down in the second row of the description section below this video. So step 4 is use your body as your truth detector. Don't you love that? After you leave a conversation, just check how you feel. Like, is your chest tight? Are you confused? Are you exhausted? That is information. Respect it before you talk yourself out of it. Because when you grew up in chaos, confrontation can feel dangerous. Your body remembers that pushing back led to big problems, punishment, shame. So when someone today tries to dominate you, your instinct is to appease maybe, or, maybe it's to fight too. Like sometimes that's what it is. But there's the first instinct is like to get them to be calm, to smooth it over, to keep the peace. And that is old conditioning doing its job, just trying to keep you safe in the past, even when it harms you now when you're actually doing that. The work is not to fight harder, it's to see more clearly, to remember, you're not a child anymore. You don't have to abandon yourself to keep people in your life. Being clear is not coldness. You can stay kind without surrendering reality. You can listen without agreeing. You can care about someone and still refuse to participate in their BS. So each time you stop explaining, stop apologizing, stop clinging, and just let silence do the work, okay, you get to experience something new. That peace is allowed to come from boundaries, not submission. So next time you hear, hey, I was only kidding, don't make it weird, or you're remembering it wrong, or I guess I'm the bad guy now, well, don't argue, don't explain, just note it. Those are levers of control, and you don't have to be controlled anymore. It doesn't matter what their excuse is. You can just walk away out of the fog and into your freedom. If you like this video, I've got one that you're going to love right here, and I'll see you very soon. A lot of people are afraid that if they focus on themselves, they'll be lonely or bored or useless or just too consumed with themselves. But when you avoid yourself like this, you lose all your power. And guess what? You become lonely and bored and unable to be useful to anyone.